Humanity's one and only home, Earth, is the only planet we know of that is capable of sustaining life. For more than a half-century, people in the United States and around the world have celebrated this vast wonder each year during Earth Day by visiting nature preserves, working to conserve natural resources, and discussing the importance of protecting ecosystems from acute threats like climate change. Why have so many people celebrated Earth Day? And what was the catalyst that spurred this annual tradition? My name is Jamie Spiller. I'm a professor of history at SUNY Brockport. Let's break it down.
Since it came into existence in 1916, the National Park Service has set up long-range plans for the preservation and enjoyment of the parks.
A century before the very first Earth Day in 1970, many Americans like President Theodore Roosevelt grew concerned about the rapid development of the country. They promoted that development, but they also wanted to preserve landscapes of great natural beauty through the creation of national, state, and city parks like Yellowstone National Park, New York's Adirondack Park, and Central Park in New York City, so that people could enjoy the mental and physical benefits of communing with untrammeled nature. As these parks came into existence, many Americans worried about another emerging problem, the destructive use of natural resources. As people clear-cut forests for lumber, gouged mountains for coal and minerals, siphoned off fresh water, and exhausted soils for commercial farming, conservationists like President Roosevelt promoted measures to sustainably use these resources. Earth Day builds on this long history of nature preservation and conservation, but it also helped to launch a modern environmental movement committed to protecting Earth's ecosystems. Ecologists had raised this imperative decades earlier, but the public finally began heeding their warnings in the 1950s, when radioactive fallout from nuclear weapons tests spread around the world and worked its way through the web of nature and into people. As millions of Americans demanded protection from dangerous nuclear fallout, science writer Rachel Carson's best-selling 1962 book Silent Spring warned them that industrial chemicals like pesticides also pose pervasive risks to human health and the natural world. Awakened by these threats, Americans began demanding national action to address pollution. By the mid-1980s, a bipartisan consensus developed in the United States to address the most extreme threat to Earth's ecosystems to date, global climate change.
Tendency to say that they are not our problem. Of course, then they are nobody's problem. If you don't worry about it now, it's too late later on.
As geoscientists discover alarming buildups of greenhouse gases, they galvanize national leaders to curtail the warming of the planet by dramatically reducing the use of coal, oil, and natural gas. Despite these efforts, fossil fuel emissions continued to rise as globalization brought the fossil fuel-based prosperity of this country to more people around the world. So now on this Earth Day, we confront environmental challenges of monumental scale, unprecedented in our planet's history. The heat energy that is rapidly built up in its atmosphere and oceans due to greenhouse gases are imperiling ecosystems and intensifying weather disasters like deadly heat waves, wildfires, droughts, and tornadoes. Even worse are the mounting costs from inland storms and flooding and increasingly frequent hurricanes that thrust rising ocean waters onto coastal communities. Earth Day is our opportunity to learn about our relationship with nature and work to achieve a better balance with the natural environment. In this case, we can do so by re-establishing a national consensus to wean ourselves off of coal, oil, and natural gas. If you enjoy learning about historical events and would like to know more, check out the Department of History at SUNY Brockport.